Airbnb might cause the housing market crash, a drone that tases people, Peloton faces lawsuit for decapitating a man, and more for this week's headline. Welcome to Carbon Valley. I'm your host, Roger. Airbnb might be leading the real estate market crash. This month, New York passed a new law stating that Airbnb hosts need to be physically present during stays of less than 30 days. Plus, only 2 guests may stay at a time. As a result, the number of short-term Airbnb listings in New York have dropped by 70%. This law was passed likely to help address the housing shortage and rising prices. Airbnb filed a lawsuit against the city, stating that short-term rentals don't contribute to housing availability or affordability problems, but New York has since rejected it. Other municipalities might follow suit with New York's lead, so we might be seeing a sell-off of properties, possibly triggering even a real estate crash, as tweeted by Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. Later in an interview, Kiyosaki also stated that now with perfectly bad timing, blue cities like New York, Chicago, and San Francisco are outright banning Airbnb, scapegoating them for their own policies that strangle housing, and continuing their war on a dwindling middle class. But housing isn't a unique issue to America. As South Korea struggles with its own unaffordable housing market, it decided on a different approach to address the issue. Have you thought about having a baby? South Korea is providing couples with newborns cheaper housing. The country has maintained a low fertility rate for years and intends to offer new parents reduced interest mortgages. Parents can apply for a mortgage with a rate as low as 1.6% for 5 years if they have had a child in the last 2 years and together earn less than $100,000. This rate is around 2% cheaper than the loans offered by commercial banks. Countries are taking a range of measures to boost fertility rates, from subsidizing child costs to making maternity leave a legal right. Currently, there are fewer children under 5 than adults aged 65 and over. Working age population is expected to halve in 2070. High prices, including home prices, are partially to blame. Given the rise of house prices, some have considered living on a cruise ship instead. This company offers the perfect opportunity. Life at Sea, which markets itself as the only affordable option for long-term cruising, will be offering a 3-year voyage aboard its MV Lara ship. This cruise would set sail from Istanbul and plans to visit 140 countries across all 7 continents. For $38,518 a year per person, you get access to a spacious 2-person bedroom, never have to worry about food, and get to travel year-round. This is perfect if you want to retire and want to sell your house and live on a cruise ship instead. Or perhaps if you want to get married and have an extra long honeymoon, here's your chance to be trapped with your soulmate for 3 years. But if you are getting married and have your friends scattered in different places, did you know that you can hire a bridesmaid? This woman makes over 6 figures being the bridesmaid at strangers' weddings. Jen was a bridesmaid for a number of her friends and did it so well that after posting a Craigslist ad, within 48 hours she received hundreds of emails from people eager to hire her. She says there are different reasons why people hire her. Some have grown apart from their good friends, some have felt lonely during other major events and realized they don't want to feel that way on their wedding day. Others might have friends who aren't super reliable or helpful. The client usually asks her to keep it a secret. She spends a few months learning about her client and really becoming that person's friend. Her goal isn't to be their fake friend for the day, but an authentic support system. The price starts at about $2,700 for 3 phone calls and 8 hours in person on the wedding day. She does everything for her clients a real friend would do. She helps them pick out their wedding dress, calls them to listen to challenges, even plans a bachelorette party, all to ensure they have a stress-free wedding day. Not having a group of close friends might get pretty lonely sometimes, but what's worse is having a 2-decade relationship ending just to be scammed a month later. Evelyn, at 50, had a 2-decade relationship that fell apart. Broken and rejected, she found her way onto Hinge where she met Bruce, a Chinese man who dressed well and had kind eyes. Over WhatsApp, they swapped messages and emojis and got close. Though they never met in person, they started a relationship. Bruce told her he ran a crypto trading studio and could help her trade, starting with a couple thousand. Evelyn needed to transfer funds from Coinbase to CEG, a special crypto exchange. She was skeptical, but the website looked legitimate. The layout was neat and the interface was well designed, there was a customer support option, and the feed was updated in real time as prices changed. Bruce helped her trade with precise timing, and she was up by 20% in half an hour. She could see how it can get addicting. Bruce suggested using at least $200K to maximize profit. Evelyn said that she didn't have that money, so Bruce suggested tapping into her retirement account. Evelyn recoiled but worried her refusal might ruin the relationship. She committed $300K but grew her investment to $500,000. Bruce even helped her cash out a small sum to go shopping in celebration. While they were trading, they would talk over WhatsApp about life, food, movies, and whatnot. But when she asked to withdraw a large sum, Bruce was unhappy and told her she was ungrateful. Doing so on her own led to an error on the website. The customer support was useless. Bruce said later that she needed to pay a 15% fee on the funds she had to withdraw her money. That's when she became highly suspicious. It was not soon after that she realized that she had been scammed. Evelyn reached out to her bank and Coinbase, but they said that they couldn't reimburse her because she had voluntarily triggered the wire transfers. Detectives with local police enforcement told her she'd given them nothing to go on because the personal details provided by Bruce were probably fake. These kinds of investment scams, where the scammer forms a relationship with the victim over a period of time, usually under romantic pretenses, is known as pig butchering, and recently it's been on the rise. A cybercriminal group creates a template for a fake crypto trading site and in exchange for a fee, hands it to other criminal affiliates who carry out the scam. Data suggests that at least 439 distinct web addresses have been used to host the CEG exchange. It's unlikely any victim would get their money back. Some are even re-victimized by recovery scammers who ask for upfront payment in return for help retrieving lost funds. The only hope lies in tracing the movement of cryptocurrency. If law enforcement is able to identify which exchange the criminals use to cash out into regular money, there is a chance they might identify the individual or group responsible for the scam. But according to Chain Analysis, it turned out that after Evelyn handed over the crypto, it was divided and traveled through up to 5 different wallets, converted on multiple occasions to different crypto tokens, blended with money from other victims, and finally cashed out through different exchanges in multiple countries. Plus, the owner of the account that cashed out the funds probably used stolen identity documents, making it even harder to find the actual perpetrators. Having lost all her savings and the loss of her boyfriend, Evelyn wondered whether it might be simpler to end it all. Only a small percentage of victims ever see their money again. Local police might not be able to help you recover your stolen crypto funds, but they sure could prevent some more minor theft. One solution to prevent theft at a Walmart has been to install a police station in the store. According to a recent workplace survey, 60% of employees reported encountering some violence over the past year. Walmart CEO Doug McMillon said that record-breaking retail theft hurt the company's economic performance last year. It has closed 22 stores so far this year, partially due to safety concerns. Walmart is reopening a closed store in Atlanta after renovating it to include groceries, a pharmacy, and a police station within the store. The approach aims to combat crime, increase security, and make shoppers feel safer, the company says. Instead of setting up a police station in a store, this company has another way of making people feel safer. Axon Technology develops taser devices and body-worn cameras that are used by more than 95% of state and local law enforcement agencies in the United States. Next up in their line of technology would be taser-equipped drones, which could potentially de-escalate a situation during mass shootings by incapacitating active shooters within seconds. An algorithm could calculate the direction of potential firearm discharge sounds. Then, sensing a probable weapon, the taser-armed drones can be deployed, shooting electrical impulses that can paralyze the human nervous system toward the shooter, all within 2 seconds of gunfire. Axon is also exploring opportunities in robotics in the future, stating that robotic security could save lives, decreasing gun-related deaths by presenting police with longer-range, remotely operable weapons. The company estimates that using a combination of an advanced handheld taser device together with remotely operated drone and robotic capabilities, up to 72% of fatal shootings might be averted. However, not everyone is excited about this news. Former members of Axon's AI ethics board suggest that weaponized drones are vulnerable to misuse. They don't recommend the autonomous deployment of force, as only humans should make that decision. There's also concern among the public whether exercise bikes can be used responsibly. Peloton, the exercise bikes company that was all the rage during the pandemic, is being sued again for severing a man. Johanna of New York is alleging that her son, Ryan Furtado, was trying to use the bike to pull himself up from a floor portion of a workout when the bike spun around and impacted him on his neck and face before severing him open, killing him instantly. Ryan was found dead at his apartment in early 2022, with the bike still resting on his neck and face. Peloton has dismissed this lawsuit, stating that the act was caused by negligence that would not be under Peloton's responsibility. The suit states that Peloton did not include enough warning labels on the bike to adequately warn the user of injury that could occur if the subject bike is used to pull oneself up from the floor during a workout. Customers sure aren't happy with the products they buy these days. That's true for the fitness industry just as much as it is for the fast food industry. Burger King is next on the chopping block as they face a class action lawsuit for claims of false advertising. A number of plaintiffs have sued in March 2022, claiming that the advertisements for the burgers are about 35% larger and double the meat than the burgers they purchased. The plaintiffs say that they would not have bought the sandwiches if they had known the actual size. Burger King has responded to the allegations and have said that food styling is a generally known practice and that companies are not required to serve items that look exactly like the pictures. At least Burger King hasn't had serious complaints with their coffee. Otherwise, coffee sales might plummet, which could decrease the amount of coffee grounds that can be used in concrete. According to the latest findings, concrete can actually be made stronger by replacing the sand used in concrete with coffee grounds instead. Millions of tons of coffee grounds are dumped into landfills each year, but if you heat coffee grounds at 350 degrees to make a charcoal-like substance called biochar, then replace some of the sand and concrete with it, you can make concrete blocks 29% stronger. Biochar has a porous structure that traps moisture, which could stop the concrete from drying out on the inside and developing microcracks that could weaken its structure. This way you can have a stronger concrete structure and use less sand. Wouldn't want to have your next vacation to the Bahamas ruined. Alright, that wraps it up for this week's stories. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.